Hello and welcome to RRTV for tonight's broadcast of the SEK Queensland GT3 Endurance Series. Tonight we're coming from Phillip Island Circuit in Victoria, Australia. So we've got about 8 minutes of qualifying left before we start the race. So I'll just take you through some of the details of tonight's race. So tonight's qualifying format was 30 minutes. As we're watching now, we're going to have a race commencing at 8 p.m. tonight, and it's going to be 113 laps or 500 kilometres in distance. We're going to have a rolling start, and a minimum of 2 drivers will be required. So we're going to be seeing driver swaps tonight, which I must say adds a whole new element to iRacing. It's fantastic to see. The driver ruling is they need to drive their fair share, or otherwise they'll be disqualified. Fair share is 25% race distance. The weather tonight is set at realistic, but unfortunately my overlays are playing up, because I'm sure it's not 0 degrees out there with no wind, partly cloudy, so we'll ignore the weather for now. Each driver will have one fast reset each. What a fast reset is if there's any damage to that vehicle, they can return to the pits and the car will be restored back to new condition, but that will only happen once. As always, we have a local race control who will be keeping a close watch on tonight's proceedings, and we will see how that turns out. Now, so Phillip Island, as I said, is based in Victoria, Australia. We have a total of 12 turns, lengths 4 kilometres. As you can see below, the track temp according to the overlay is 6 degrees, so it's quite cold out there tonight, and mostly cloudy. Looks like they're racing in the afternoon as well. So we'll have a quick look at how our qualifying is going at the moment. Okay, so on top at the moment we have Dylan Sharman in the McLaren. Okay, so we've got Dylan Sharman in the McLaren, followed by George Fulton in the BMW. Lewis Kugari is also driving the BMW tonight and is running third at the moment. Matthew Barron has set a time in the BMW. Scott Stevens, Ian McMahon, Martin Davis and Rod Pinder in the rough. Warren Pickering at the moment has set a time. So as we can tell by there, it looks like McLaren's up front, dominated by a whole heap of BMWs. So tonight's race, as I said, is 500 kilometres or 113 laps. We're expecting this race to take about 3 hours to complete. We'll see if I can talk for that long. I'm hoping some of the drivers will join me in the commentary box a bit later on. And I'm still looking for a co-commentator, so if you're interested in giving this a go, by all means please send me a private message in iRacing, and I'd be more than happy for you to join me in the commentary booth. So at the moment we're watching Jamie Peters in his Z4 GT3. Looks like he is yet to set a qualifying time with 3 minutes to go. Okay, it looks like we've got Michael Manley in the Redback Racing Team roof at the moment, and his partner or co-driver will be Simon Eriksson in that vehicle, and they're proudly sponsored by Aurora IT. Speaking of sponsors, before the race commences, we've got 2 minutes to go, I'd just like to thank our sponsors of this event. Without your support, it'd be very difficult to put on such a great event. So I'd like to thank the Race Centre. So if you're in Sydney and you want to give sim racing a go, definitely drop into the Race Centre. They've got full motion cockpits and they go full throttle. I'd like to thank the Pit Stop Model Cars. So for all your model car needs, drop into the pit stop. Shave for Less is another sponsor. I'm not sure, I'm assuming they sell shavers. I'll have to look into that. And finally, iRace for Fun is also involved in putting this fantastic event together. And of course, the series sponsor, SEK Queensland, which is a karting complex in Queensland, is behind this event. And of course, you're watching this on RRTV, and this is being broadcast through iRacing.com. So for all of you that are not sure what iRacing is all about, it's basically a simulation racing subscription service. Each of these guys are racing together tonight with driver swaps, but they're sitting in their own homes using their own computers and equipment, and this is all linked through iRacing to bring us to a race location where we can all race together. And I'd also like to thank Trading Paints for allowing us to share all these great liveries that you're seeing on these cars tonight. Okay, with 12 seconds to go, I'll take you through the starting grid. It looks like Dylan Sharman in his McLaren has taken pole, followed by Christopher Osborne driving a roof. Guy Leach in his BMW Z4 comes in third. Gary Hamilton in his BMW fourth. Fifth will be Lewis Kugali. Sixth will be Kresimir Presnicki, and seventh will be Jay Kennedy. So it's quite interesting, according to this. It doesn't look like... oh, here we go. 11th will be Matthew Barron, Scott Stevens, 12th, 13th Ian McMahon, followed by Shane McMahon, 15th Martin Davis, 16th will be Warren Pickering, Rod Pindar will be 17th, Michael Manley will be starting from 18th, Gavin Sadler 19th, and Joshua Burden rounds out our top 20. 21st will be Jamie Kingston, then Richard Brookfield, Martin Zimmerman, Joshua Beecroft and Troy Maguire. 26 will be Matt Menzies in his BMW, followed by Brant Tucker, and David Pegler rounds out the 28 in his rough. So then we have Michael Ford in a BMW, Jamie Peters, Lance Hawes, Neil De Bruin and Brenton O'Brien. 36 is Ian Saltieri, Shane Reynolds, Daniel Leet and Ian Saltieri. So while we wait for them to grid up, I will just reset our overlays. Give me 1 second. Okay, so tonight will be a rolling start. So as the drivers grid up, they will be going through one lap under pace car. Then the lead driver will have control. So it looks like our lead driver is going to be Matthew Barron. Hang on a minute, this has just messed up again. Sorry folks, it looks like I'm having a lot of trouble with our overlays tonight, which unfortunately does happen at times, so just bear with me at the moment.
User joined your channel.
So as we go around on the warm-up lap, it looks like we've got one of our drivers dropping in for a chat, and welcome to the commentary booth, David Arnold. So how's it looking out there, David?
Hi Bernie, yeah, it's getting pretty exciting now. We've qualified pretty well, but everyone's so quick here, so we're gonna have to wait and see how we do.
Yeah, you sound a little nervous there. How's the car setup going?
It feels pretty good, to be honest. I'm just glad I'm not starting the race warranting for the first stint, and I think it's going to be pretty hectic.
Yeah, so what do you prefer, watching the car go around or actually driving it? What makes you more nervous?
I don't know. I don't think it matters when you're on the pace lap before a race like this. I think everyone's nervous.
Yeah, and it looks like we've got a fantastic field out there. It looks like well over 30 cars have entered this race tonight.
Yeah, and there's some really fast times up the front of the field, so yeah, it's going to be a tough race all the way through the field.
Yeah, we're just going through the field at the moment. It looks like Dylan Sharman in his McLaren has taken pole out there. Set a blistering time, but there's not too many McLarens in the field by the look of it at the moment.
No, and there's not too many gaps in the times either. Everyone's pretty close, but I'd better go. There's the start.
All right, good luck. There. Good luck.
User left your channel.
Okay, folks, Dylan Sharman has control of the race. They're rolling up to commence the race. So Dylan Sharman has taken the lead, followed by Christopher Osborne in his roof, running second. And running third at the moment, it looks like we have Guy Leach. So we'll wait for the field to settle down, but it doesn't look like Dylan Sharman is gapping the field by much at all, and Christopher is taking the fight to him. But it's a long way to go, as I said, 113 laps, so I'm sure we're going to be in for an exciting race tonight at Phillip Island. Okay, we're currently having, there's so much action on the track, that's why the cameras are jumping around, but we're having a look now at Gavin Sadler making a move on Warren Pickering. That actually looks like that might have been his teammate being overtaken. Looks like Warren is carrying a little front end damage, but it doesn't look too bad for his roof at the moment. Well, it looks like we've got Colin Schweck has come off into the corner. I'll see if we can get a replay of what occurred then. Give me one moment. Fortunately, we can't seem to get to what has caused that accident, but it looks like he may have cut the track a little bit wide coming into the first corner down there, and it's very easy to do. It's an extremely fast corner, and it can catch you unawares quite quickly. So this is where Colin lost it last lap, coming into Doohan Corner, and you can just see the skid marks on the inside of the track there. He's got rear wing damage by the looks of it. That will be fixed when he comes in for a scheduled stop, but at the moment he's just most likely going to keep the car out there till the scheduled stops come in into play. So being a team event where you've got two drivers, as you heard David allude to, there is a lot of added pressure which can get to the driver, because they're not only driving for themselves, they're actually driving for their teammates. So sometimes they get a bit nervous, and we might have seen that earlier on with Colin's slide off. Okay, so it looks like Michael Manley has started in the number 36 Aurora IT roof. Generally the teams before the race, they'll elect who's going to start, and looks like Michael has drawn that straw for tonight's race, and he's following closely behind his teammate Warren Pickering in the number 15 Redback roof. It looks like Warren's been in the wars with front end rear damage at the moment on his car. Nothing substantial, it just looks like cosmetic, although it does look like he does have a slight rear wing damage. So tonight the fastest lap has been set by Dylan Sharman in his McLaren with the 1:26.240. So we'll see how that time holds up as the race continues. So we're currently on lap 4, folks, and we're having a look at the moment with Joshua Burden in his BMW, racing for JFF Racing. He's chasing down Michael Manley. It looks That's Gary Hamilton currently in 4th position there, doing a fantastic job to holding onto that car as he went through the southern loop. He's just coming through now Stoner Corner. So it looks like while we've been catching the action further back in the field, Christopher Osborne has now taken the lead from Dylan Sharman, and he currently has half a second gap. As you can see, the battling's quite close, so we'll stay on this for a moment, and I'll give you a run around in the cockpit with Dylan Sharman in his McLaren. So coming onto the main straight now, folks. So this is Gardner Straight, so I'm going to be quiet and I'm just going to let you enjoy the ride. So folks, that was one lap around Phillip Island with Dylan Sharman in his McLaren. So as you can see, it looks like he's working very hard at the wheel there at the moment as he tries to round up Christopher Osborne. And running third at the moment, seeing the background in the SEK Queensland BMW Z4 is Guy Leach. So this is turning out to be a nice close battle pack with 7 laps down, as Dylan has a look on the inside of Christopher, but he just can't quite make that move stick. Phillip Island is an extremely fast and flowing track, so there's only a few passing areas where drivers would like to look, and one of them at the moment is this area here, which I'll bring up my map. So down Lukey Heights, where we just went through, is one of the areas they can overtake, and another one is if they're close enough and get a slipstream, they will have a move down Gardner Straight to make an inside pass going into Doohan Corner is another favourite. As you can see, Dylan's not quite close enough at the moment, but he is hanging on to Christopher, and it's great to see this multi-make racing today, Phillip Island, with all these different car types. We've basically got 4 car types entered, but it looks like only 3 are being used. The 4 eligible cars for this series is the roof track, which you can see Christopher's driving, the McLaren MPC 12C, whatever it is, GT3 is what Dylan's driving, and the BMW Z4 is a 3rd car, GT3, which Guy Leach is driving. The 4th car, which unfortunately I don't think there's anyone driving at the moment is the Ford GT3. It's just had some updates in the past week, and it's a lot better to drive now, so I'm really hoping some of our drivers out there are going to give it a go, and we look forward to seeing it participating in future rounds. Another one iRacing is looking at bringing into this series will be the Aston Martin, which everyone's looking forward to seeing that coming in probably next year at this stage, but yeah, that's another exciting car to have. And with driver swaps and endurance races such as these, I can only see this GT3 series getting better and better. And while I'm talking about endurances, I'd just like to give a quick shout out to some of our Australian drivers. I think it was Madison Down, John O'Barry. They competed overnight in the Master of Endurance race at Circuit of the Americas, and I think that was a 24-hour race. So for those of you interested to see how they went, you can go on YouTube or go to mastersofendurance.net. That's the official website, and you can have a look at the replays there. And while we're talking about shout-outs, I'd also like to give a quick shout-out to the guys over at Apex Racing. They've done a fantastic job this year in broadcasting the SRA GT3 Championship, or the Sim Racing Asia GT3's Championship, which finished last night at Suzuka, which was a 2-hour endurance race there. I was fortunate enough to partner up with my teammate Scott Goodman, and we came, I think, 7th in class last night, which was a fantastic effort and something we were quite proud of. And the endurance races are definitely, if you're into iRacing, is something you must try. It is absolutely fantastic. So, looking back at the field, it looks like we've got a very good battle pack formed here of BMW Z4s. We're focusing at the moment on Martin Davis running 13th. And he's in a battle with Lewis Kidali. I hope I pronounced that right. As Martin... Okay, let's have a replay of that. Sorry folks, I'm still getting used to this interface. I have lost the replay button. Okay, I found it again. Sorry about that. It looks like... Okay. It's getting very... Okay, it looks like Lewis just went into the side of... not Lewis, sorry. It looked like those two BMWs may have been teammates. If they were teammates, I'm sure there's going to be some interesting debriefing tonight in the team trailer at the end of this race. I didn't quite catch who that was. Just having a look back, folks, see if we can find out who that was. So it looked like it was Joshua Beecroft involved in that, And it may have been with Jamie Kingston, I think. Let's have a look. No, sorry folks, looks like they might have had a quick tow back to the pit, so we've missed that one. So it looks like Josh Beecroft does have a bit of damage, and I'm pretty sure he was involved in that incident, but he's continuing in back at 27th position at the moment. The car doesn't look too bad, although he does have some severe panel damage on the front left of his car at the moment, which will be fixed when they come into the pits. So up front we still have Christopher Osborne out front, followed by Dylan Sharman and Guy Leach. So these guys are settled into a nice nice rhythm at the moment. Warren Pickering at the moment is running 17th, and he's trying to catch Richard Brookfield at the moment, and it looks like Paul Freely is catching Warren, and not quite close enough to make a move, although he is gaining quite a bit. It looks like they had to lift for that spinner, but that gives Paul Freely an opportunity down the inside, although when he gets up here he's going to be on the outside, and Warren holds his line. So they're just coming into Siberia now folks, so we'll follow this for a while because it looks like these guys are having quite a good close battle. Paul's definitely got the speed. So coming into Lukey Heights down here, Paul will have a look on the... No, not quite close enough. He'll probably try, I think, to get close enough. If you can get a tow onto Gardner Straight, he will probably be looking at making a move coming into Doohan Corner. Now, Doohan Corner is the fastest corner at Phillip Island. They're hitting speeds, as you can see, in excess of 260 kilometres an hour. As Paul makes a look on the inside, he thinks about it, but he's just not quite game. Two cars can go through there, but too wide. But as Warren loses it under the pressure, and he goes hard into the tyre barrier. He will have quite a bit of rear end damage to that vehicle. That is not what Redback Racing want to see, but he was under a lot of pressure with a damaged car, so driver errors do happen. Yeah, with that rear end damage, he'll probably find that car will be quite loose until he can get it in for repairs. We'll follow him and see if he does come in or if he's going to continue on. He does look like he is off the pace at the moment. But going around Phillip Island with a damaged car, it will cost you speed, just because of the nature of the track. No, it looks like he is pressing on, so he will carry on with that up until their first scheduled pit stop. So at the moment we're having a look again at Martin Davis, trying to catch Glenn Firth, and Gavin Sadler is having a fantastic drive at 14th at the moment, and I'd like to thank Gavin. He's the organiser of this fantastic series, and he's been doing it for a number of years, and I must say at the moment this would have to be one of the GT3 premier series in Australia. So congratulations, Gavin, this is a fantastic job you're doing, and keep up the good work. But I'm sure he's not thinking about that at the moment, as he is busily trying to round up Martin Davis. Having a look at our DNFs at the moment, it looks like we've had I'll bring that up and we'll have a look. So it looks like we've lost Ian Saltieri, Shane Reynolds, Daniel Leet, Thomas Sabo and Neil De Bruyne have looked like they've retired so far. On lap 16 out of 113, I'm sure we're going to see more retirements as this progresses and the drivers use their quick repairs. Gavin's having a look on the inside of Martin Davis. He just couldn't quite make that stick. So he'll probably, coming out of Siberia, if he's close enough, he'll try possibly another move coming into Lukey Heights. So while we are watching that battle, folks, up front it looks like Dylan Sharman has just taken the lead of Christopher Osborne. We'll stick with this for a bit because it looks like Christopher is wanting that lead back, but he's going to have to watch his back because it looks like Guy Leach is closing on that. Let's quickly go back and see if we can catch if we can catch that pass. Yeah, it looks like Christopher just had a bit of a wobble there coming onto Gardner Straight, which not Gardner Straight, not sure where that was, coming out of Siberia, I think. Sorry folks, I'm a bit lost at the moment. But yeah, you just saw Christopher's car step out slightly there. Come back live now, folks. It looks like Dylan is retaining the lead, but he's not pulling away for Christopher, and Christopher is thinking seriously about where he can make a move and regain that top spot. This is fantastic driving by all three drivers here, and it's just great to see how balanced these three makes of cars are at the moment, with first having the McLaren in first, followed by a Roof in second, and then the BMW Z4 rounding out our top three. Tell you what, Guy Leach is fantastic under brakes down there in the southern loop. He's just gained probably half a car length on Christopher, just under brakes there. So Guy's having... Oh, Christopher's making a move on the inside. Will he stick? Yes, a fantastic move. And Dylan's having a look back on the inside. Now it's heating up, folks. Christopher's looking on the inside. It's high stakes, too wide, coming up to Lukey heights. But now Guy Leach is having a look on and wanting to get in on this action. Guy is having a look on the inside, but he just can't quite get close enough in. This is awesome driving. And it's great to see, you know, these drivers as they're swapping, they're showing respect to each other, giving each other plenty of room. They're driving hard, but driving clean, which is great to see. As Christopher closes in again, they're coming up to traffic, which could play a part in this race. Fantastic drivers are trying to get out of their way. If I was a lap driver, I wouldn't want to get involved in this battle at all. So that's great driving by those drivers being lapped to get out of the way and let the front runners through. So while we're watching this battle, folks, I'll take you through our position so far. So at the moment we've got Dylan Sharman in his McLaren out front, followed by Christopher Osborne in the roof. Guy Leach fourth is Gary Hamilton. Scott Stevens is running fifth. Sixth is Stuart Hall. Seventh is Matthew Barron. So it looks like from third to seventh are all BMWs. And then eighth in his roof is Kresimir Presnicki, Lewis Kogali in another BMW, Mitchell McLeod. Rounds out our top 10. 11th is Terry Marwood, 12th is Martin Davis. Okay, we'll come back to that, folks, because Christopher's making a move on the inside there. And it looks like he's making that stick, but Dylan's coming back on the inside yet again to take back that lead. It's just like a replay from 2 laps ago, but Guy Leach is now again closing up. He's looking like he really wants that second spot at the moment. Christopher's going defensive, holding his line on the inside. Now a lot of these drivers, when they normally race by the one move rule, which means once they make their intention known, they're to hold that line. If they weave all over the track, that's counted as blocking, and the administrators would look into that. But at the moment, Christopher's perfectly entitled to holding that line, which he did. It looks like Gary Hamilton now is tagging onto the back of this train in his BMW. So we're now into a 4-car battle. But it definitely looks like the BMW is the car of choice for many of these drivers tonight. Followed by the Rough someone please tell me how to pronounce that. And then the McLaren is the third most popular car, which I think there's only 2 or 3 McLarens in the field, but Dylan's definitely showing the McLaren can be competitive. So just in the background then we saw Gary Hamilton was trying to make a move then on Guy Leach. Oh, and Guy Leach has gone around. Looks like he just caught. It looks like he's just caught the wheel onto the grass. Follow this around, folks, and we'll see exactly what occurred. It looks like he's exited Southern Loop and just got his wheel caught in the grass, which has spun him around. Yeah, he just got his rear right wheel caught in the grass. Oh! Straight over the embankment. He was lucky he didn't roll it there. He was very lucky indeed that he got away with that. He's got a bit of front end damage, but he was very lucky that he didn't roll that car at that point. Okay, so we're back out the front, and it looks like now Gary Hamilton is starting to close up on Christopher Osborne. I'm just having a look, folks, at the moment about our pit. It looks like only one driver we haven't come up to pits yet, as most of the drivers have pitted just for damage. I'd expect tonight this race to be at minimum a 2-stop race, but we'll see how that pans out as the race progresses. So earlier we did a lap with Dylan Sharman, so I think I will throw you into a lap with Christopher Osborne and enjoy. So that was a lap around Phillip Island with Christopher Osborne as he makes an inside move now on Dylan Sharman. Fantastic move there. As Christopher retakes first position. And it looks like, who was that running wide there? And Dylan Sharman's also ran wide, and let's get a replay of what occurred back there. It looked like the lap driver did try to get it out of the way, and he did. But I'm just seeing, yeah, Dylan just ran wide there on his own accord. It wasn't anything to do with the lap driver, and it looks like we had two roofs off there, so Dylan might have taken a wide line to avoid the Redback racing car that was off on the inside. So it looks like Dylan has dropped back to third, and it looks like Gary Hamilton now is up to second, with Christopher Osborne having quite a substantial lead now of over 2 seconds. So that definitely played into his hands. So having a look at the battle at the moment, Scott Stevens is running fourth, followed by Stuart Hall in fifth, and Guy Leach now is back in sixth position. So as we're looking at Scott Stevens just making a overtake move on Lance Hawes, it wasn't for position, he was lapping him. But it's great to see the Kimmy's Rural Fencing roof out. As we have a look at Michael Manley spinning, let's see if we can get a replay of what happened there. Yeah, it just looks like he lost that under acceleration. So as he was coming under pressure there from, I think it was Paul Feely. So no doubt the tyres are starting to go off on these cars now, running 29 laps without a stop. Two things go off: driver concentration and tyres. Looks like Jamie Kingston has just... no. Sorry for the jumping around, folks. It looks like there's a lot of action going on around the track at the moment, and our cameramen aren't quite sure where to focus at the moment. So as we're having a look here, it looks like Martin Davis is under attack from Glenfirth low. So looks like we're having a look at Lewis at the moment in 8th, coming under pressure from Mitchell McLeod, and it looks like he is putting the pressure on Kresimir Prasnicki at the moment in 7th position. Yeah, that damaged rough of Michael's definitely suffering in the straight lines. I'm sure he's just now wanting to hold on to that car until he can pit as he goes wide and off the track again to let the front runners through. It looks like Guy Leach in 6th is having a good battle with Stuart Hall in 5th at the moment, as they both try to round up Scott Stevens, who was just ahead of them in the BMW. Okay, folks, I'm just going to step away for a couple of minutes, and I'll leave you to enjoy the broadcast. I just have to get a bite to eat. Back shortly. Okay folks, I'm back. Sorry about that, I just needed to get a quick bite to eat. So I'll take you through the top 10 at the moment. We've got Christopher Osborne still leading, followed by Gary Hamilton in his BMW Z4, Dylan Sharman some 2 seconds down in his McLaren, Scott Stevens 4th, Guy Leach 5th in his SEK Queensland BMW, 6th is Stuart Hall. Lewis Kugali has, we just see in the background there as we were going, the Kimi Rural Fencing rough hitting the wall very heavily. Okay, so it looks like Lewis may have retired from this event. We'll keep a close eye on that. Up to 8th is Mitchell McLeod, 9th Gavin Sadler, 10th is Martin Davis. So as you can see in the top 10 we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 BMWs, 1 Rough and 1 McLaren. So BMW is definitely dominating this race tonight. So with 36 laps down folks, I would expect to see pit stops starting in the next, if they're going to do this in one stopper, they will be pitting in the next 10 laps, 15 laps, but we'll just see exactly how this shakes out. They do have full fuel range, so they can run quite a long way on one tank of fuel. Okay folks, while we're watching the action, I'd just like to give a quick shout out to our sponsors of this event again. We've got SEK Queensland, which is a sportsman's enduro karting club in Queensland. If you want more information, go to SEKQLD.com. I'd like to thank the Race Centre. If you want to experience sim racing, I think they're in Sydney and Brisbane, definitely go to the Race Centre and check them out. They've got full motion racing rigs, and for a very small amount of money you can test your driving skills out. They also run competitions and driver events weekly, so definitely check those guys out. I highly recommend them. I'd like to thank Shave for Less. Shave for Less delivers cheap quality razors to your door. You can visit them at shaveforless.com.au. We'd like to thank iRace for Fun for coming on board tonight and assisting with the sponsorship. I think I've missed one. Who have I missed? Yes, Pit Stop Model Cars. For all your model car needs, definitely check out Pit Stop Model Cars. You can find them at pitstopmodelcars.com.au. So we can see Guy Leach currently still holds the fastest lap of 1:26.235. Just having a look at the battle here, folks, between 13th, 14th and 15th. It looks like Colin Schweck is the next McLaren on the road, running in 13th, closely followed by BMW Z4 of Paul Mansell and Joshua Beecroft. He was involved in an earlier incident which we caught the end of. I think it was lap 3 or 4. So we'll just jump back to a replay. It looks like Gary Hamilton might have just taken the lead from Christopher Osborne, so I'll see if we can catch that. Just take us back a bit further and see if we can find the overtake. Okay, we just had a look there at Gary Hamilton taking the lead from Christopher Osborne with a fantastic move on the inside. Again, it's great to see nice clean racing out there. Looks like the pit stops have started, folks. We just caught a glimpse then of... Okay, Christopher Osborne is in, so the pit stops are definitely starting. Pitting at lap 40. This race looks like it's going to be a 2-stop strategy for sure. We'll have a look at Christopher Osborne's pit stop as he comes into stop. If we see the car flash, I'd expect the driver swap. That's how we can tell. Yeah, so the car's flashed, so there's definitely been a driver swap take place there. I'll try and reset our setup. Okay, I'll have to restart it. For some reason, folks, my overlays, every time I do a reset, it's crashing, so... So it looks like Brad Wooten has jumped in, replacing Christopher Osborne there in their rough. So I would say that's going to start off a whole raft of pit stops at the moment. So having a look at George Fullerton, it looks like he has jumped in and replaced Guy Leach in their SEK Queensland BMW Z4, and they're currently running in 8th position. Looks like George is trying to round up Len O'Kell, and In ninth is Nico Brandt. So as the field cycles through, folks, we will see the second drivers getting in. As I said earlier in the commentary, they have to do their fair share, which is 25%. Considering this is looks like a two-stop race, they'll probably be expecting to do about 33% of the driving. As we see George Fullerton making a fantastic move on the inside there of Len O'Kell. Again, another clean move. Tell you what, that Kimmy Rural's fencing rough looks like it's having a really, really bad run tonight. It's not what we want to see, but you know, these long races, it happens. So it looks like Gary Hamilton has pitted, and we've got Brace Morrow that hasn't pitted, who is currently in the lead in his BMW Z4. So it looks, and so we'll expect him to be coming in the next couple of laps. He's Blackadder Racing. It looks like now David Arnold has also jumped into the Redback Racing Team Rough to replace Warren Pickering. They're currently running down in the 23rd position. Okay, so looks like who was that coming in there? Joshua, I think it was, coming into the pits. Now, because I can't reset my overlays, folks, I will reset them again excuse me, once most of the pit stops have occurred. Until then, some of the drivers in the overlays may not match the actual driver, so I apologise for that, but I'll get it fixed as soon as the pit stops have cycled through. So with the GT3 racing, folks, iRacing has changed the pit, the way these cars pit. Previously they would be able to change 4 tyres and simultaneously fuel the cars. iRacing has updated that to bring them back in line with the FIA ruling of basically they will, I think, fuel the car first. Once fueling's concluded, they can change the tyres. But while that occurs, the drivers can change while the car's fueling or tyres are being changed. So it looks like Matthew Hill has jumped in to the McLaren to replace Dylan Sharman. That's a fantastic driver pairing. They're both equally as fast as each other. So I would expect them, you know, they've been running in the top 5 all night. It'd be great to see if they can fight their way back up to a podium by the end of this race. So Gary Hamilton's coming up to lap Joshua Beecroft in. Nope, my overlays are messed up again, sorry folks. So I'd expect once Bryce Morrow comes into pit, Gary Hamilton will take back the lead of the race. And he's got a gap currently over Brad Wooten of about less than a second at the moment. You can see Brad in the background, followed by Matthew Hill, who's some 6 seconds down the road. As we see Gary just lose it coming into the southern loop. We've seen a number of cars losing it there, so jump back to so you can see in the background there Matthew Hill has closed up, but he's still got a fair ways to go before he's on the back of Gary. So having a look now at Bryce Morrow, he's currently leading this race. He started in 5th position, so he's gained 4 positions, so they'd have to be happy with that. Now, folks, bear with me, I'm just going to do a reset of our overlays. So running out our top 10 at the moment, we have Bryce Morrow now leading the way in his BMW Z4, followed by Brad Wooten in the rough, Justin McKeon in the BMW, followed by Matthew Hill in the McLaren, Aaron Pearce 5th, followed by Paul Keegan, Len O'Kell, Nico Brandt, and rounding out your top 10 is Brett Gerardis. Now, even though it says DNF, as you can see, that's just the overlays playing up at the moment. I'm sure they're still out there running. Man. So having a look at the moment of Jay Kennedy out there. Where's Jay running at the moment? 17th position for Jay, so that's great. As he's making a move at the moment on Matthew Dignam. So that was for position, so those two are having a good little battle out there. Matthew, let's have a look at driver thing. So sorry, my apologies, that was Reece Gardner making that move on Matthew. So he's paired up with Jay Kennedy. So having a look at our retirements so far, looks like we've had Josh Burden retire, Ian Saltieri, Shane Reynolds, Daniel Leet, Tamas Sabo and Neil De Bruyn. Now some of these drivers will have used up both their fast repairs, so as the race progresses you can tell, because the cars will start possibly to look more beaten up. As a BMW exit stage left in the background. Again, it's down here in the southern loop of Phillip Islands. Definitely given these cars a bit of a problem as they accelerate out of the southern loop. BMW is probably one of the more trickier cars to drive in the GT3 series. So currently Brace does have a lead over Brad Wooten of 11.7 seconds. And then, let's see if we can go back. So that's Brad Wooten, 11.7 seconds, followed a further 4 seconds down the road by Matthew Hill. And then another 4 seconds down the road is Justin McKeon. So that's your top 4. Rounding out your top 5 is Aaron Pearce, who's just making his way out of the gravel. We'll see if we can catch a replay of that, folks. So this is just coming out of Lukey Heights onto Garden Straight. Yeah, he didn't even look like he was going to make that turn. Not sure what went wrong there for Aaron, but he's definitely, it didn't look like he was going to get anywhere near the apex there, so I'm not sure what happened there, folks. He might be having some hardware difficulty with his steering at the moment, but it was well gathered up, that's for sure. We'll just watch him again as he comes back onto Gardner Straight and see if he has a similar problem. That was a lot better. So he might have just had a slight glitch in his steering or something like that, or possibly lack of concentration, who knows. So we just caught then Brad Wooten making a move back on Justin McKeon. That was 4 position, as Christopher takes 2nd position back. Sorry folks, I think I messed that up. I don't think that was 4 position. I apologise folks for the lack of drivers that have come up to have a chat with us. RRTV is a new broadcasting channel, and it'll take a little while for the drivers to be able to find where our commentary booth is, but I assure you we are working on trying to get more drivers to come up to have a chat with us during these races. We just think it would make it that much more immersive for everyone that enjoys watching these broadcasts. So if you're a driver out there in this series, definitely drop me a line and I can let you know how you can find the commentary booth. And for those of you that enjoy watching iRacing events, there's another 2 channels highly recommended, maybe 3, for all your V8 action. Check out V8s online. They're covering the Premier V8 Supercar series, which is an absolutely fantastic series and well worth tuning into if you like your V8 supercars. And the other one to check out is Race Spot TV. They cover a lot of the European races. Some of them, as I said earlier, are doing 12 to 24 hour enduros. So definitely check out Race Spot TV. The Formula 1s you're seeing, starting next year, tune into PSR TV. They cover the World Formula 1 Championships as well as the NASCAR World Championships, which is fully sanctioned by NASCAR. So that's PSR TV. So at the moment folks, the last car on the lead lap is Ian McMahon in 13th. Then all the other cars below him are 1 lap down to position 19th. From position 20th, the drivers are 2 laps down, and that goes all the way down to 7 laps down. So folks, I'd like you to cast your eyes on my mate here from Mr. Mark Noble. He normally helps co-commentate the RRTV V8 Supercars. He's a good mate of mine, and he is currently 6 laps down driving in his Kimi Rural Fencing rough. And Mark is the principal or the owner of KRF Racing, so it's great to see those guys out there having a go tonight. people just tuned in, folks, it looks like Len O'Kell. Oh, and we have contact. Let's have a replay of that. It just looks like... hang on a second. It just looks like Brett Garridas got into the back of Len O'Kell. We'll go back a bit further. Yeah, it looks like Len might have had a moment coming in into Lukey Heights there, and Brett just tagged the back of him, spun him around. I'm sure it was nothing intentional, it's just a racing incident. These cars, if you slam on the brakes, you'll generally do more damage than good, I think. So having a look here at George Fullerton trying to pass Paul Keegan for position. Looks like he's made that move stick. It looks like right behind George is Matthew Hill, who's running currently in 7th position. So I'm not sure what happened to Matthew. Last time we saw him he was running in 4th, so it looks like he's looking at making those positions back as quickly as he can. Okay folks, with 58 laps down we have just passed halfway, which was at lap 57 was roughly halfway, so the race continues. So out in front we still have Braith Morrow with a 9.8 second lead over Brad Wooten. Justin McKeon is now 10 seconds further down the track, followed closely by Aaron Pearce. So having a look at Justin McKeon and Aaron Pearce, who's right behind him. Just behind them, 1 second down the track's Paul Keegan, and that rounds out our top 5. As Aaron has a look on the inside of Justin there for the battle for third. He just couldn't quite make it. In the background we can see Matthew Hill in 7th starting to catch these guys up, so we'll stick with this battle for the time being, because it's from 3rd down to 7th or 8th, so definitely closing up. As Aaron has a look on the inside again, so at the moment, folks, this race has been going for just over an hour and a half. So our estimates of a 3-hour race should be pretty accurate. For those of you tuning in live, I thank you very much. If you like the video, definitely give me a thumbs up on YouTube. And you can find us also at facebook.com /RRTV. So Aaron's starting to have another look on Justin coming into Gardner Straight. As they sweep down into Doohan Corner, we'll see if yes, Aaron's definitely making a move on the inside. We'll see if Brad can get the undercut. It's a nice clean move, and looks like Paul Keegan wanted to get a bit of that action too, but he just wasn't quite close enough. And then we've got George Fullerton straight behind Paul, followed by Matthew Hill. So this is a fantastic battle. As Paul has a look on the inside. Oh, and he spins Justin around. We'll get a look at that. Yeah, I'm not sure, folks, if there was contact there. It looked like there might have been a bit of a netcode issue which turned Justin around, but again, it looks like that was just another racing incident. So we'll return back live to the battle, folks, and looks like Matthew Hill is now starting to put the pressure on Paul, and he makes a move on the inside, and he does it easily. So we're down in Siberia, folks, if you're wondering where we are on track at the moment. In fact, next lap around I might jump us into a cockpit with Matthew, and I will tell you the corners of the track for those of you who are not familiar with Phillip Island. Okay, so we're coming up on the main straight here, folks. This is called Gardner Straight. And then we sweep into the fastest corner, which is Doohan Corner. All these corners are named after famous Australian MotoGP riders. Coming into the southern loop, and then we come into Stoner Corner, named after Casey Stoner. So we see Matthew Hill make a move on the inside there of George Fulton, makes it stick. We're coming into Siberia now. And as we reach the top of this hill, this is Lukey Heights we're coming into now. Just entering Lukey Heights now. Hold on to it, Matthew. And then we basically come back out onto Gardner Straight. So that's a lap around with Matthew Hill. So it didn't look like there was contact there, folks. It just looked like Matthew just lost that under acceleration. I'd say the tyres are starting to go off on a lot of these cars now. Yeah, he just lost that under braking. He was very lucky that he didn't get cleaned up by that rough. It was good driving by everyone concerned. That could have turned out to be a fairly nasty incident. As we rejoin the race live, folks, we're back to having a look at Matthew Hill now, making a move on Aaron Pearce again, and he's looking on the, he's lapping a driver, sorry, that wasn't Aaron Pearce. Looks like Ian McMahon is making a move now on Brett Garidas 4/10 on the inside. He just does not have the pace, and looks like his teammate, who's that? Shane McMahon. So there was Ian and Shane McMahon both in the same team colours. I think they were the two that came together on lap 2, I think it was. We're having a look now, folks. It looks like Brad Wootton has taken the lead, so I'll see if we can find where that pass occurred. Sorry folks, we didn't quite find that that overtake, so I apologise for that. But coming back live now, we've got a change for lead with Brad Wooten overtaking Braith Morrow. Braith is now some 3.8 seconds down the track, so his car looks good. His tyres might just be suffering a little bit, but he's a little bit off the pace there. And some 7 seconds further down the track is George Fullerton. Right behind him is Paul Keegan, which we were looking at that battle earlier, and some 5 seconds below that was Nico Brandt. Coming in 6th at the moment is Aaron Pearce, and he's in a great battle at the moment with Matthew Hill. We'll just stay with this for a bit, folks. Looks like Matthew's going to make a move. No, yes he did. That was a fantastic move there as they came up into Lukey Heights. Very confident move. And again, it was great to see, both drivers showing respect and giving each other racing room. Great to see after 68 laps that these guys are still racing as closely together as they were at the start of this race. The reason we're focusing on this, folks, this is the best battle on the track at the moment, as the field starts to spread out. As we are fast approaching the end of lap 68. So folks, it's that time again when I'd just like to thank our sponsors, our event sponsor, SEK Queensland. You can check them out at SEKQLD.com. and we thank them for coming on board and being the naming rights sponsor of this great endurance series. I'd like to thank the Race Centre for all you guys out there that love your sim racing or want to give it a try. Definitely drop into the Race Centre. I think they're in Brisbane and Sydney, and you can try their full motion sim racing rigs out, as well as enter their competitions. It's a lot of fun, so I highly recommend you check them out. And for all your model car needs, I would like to thank Pit Stop Model Cars. You can find them pitstopmodelcars.com.au. For all you blokes out there who want cheap quality razors, check out Shave for Less. You can find them shaveforless.com.au. And finally, I'd like to thank iRace for Fun. I'll find out what they do. Okay folks, I'm just going to pop out and have another quick break and make myself a cup of coffee. It's been a very long night in the commentary booth by myself, so I'll be back in a moment.
User joined your channel.
Okay folks, I'm back, and joining me in the commentary booth we have David Arnold. How's your race going so far, David?
We're not quite as well as we might have hoped, but we're getting it back together now.
Yeah, I noticed earlier on both Redback Racing and Rough seem to be in the wars. Just seeing where you guys are running at the moment.
Yeah, Warren just got caught in the first lap, got tapped from in front and behind, got picked up a bit of damage which made the car a bit harder to drive, and eventually we had to pit. We had a mechanical black flag, so we had to pit earlier than we would have wanted, so we will have to make this into a 4-stop race, not a 3-stop race. A 3-stop race, not a 2-stop race, sorry. But I think now we're sort of back on track. We've got 1 stop to make, and I think everyone else has got 1 more pit stop to make, so we're sort of racing for position now, which is nice. We're making our way back through. We've just managed to unlap ourselves, which is really good.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Around Phillip Island, how does the damage on these cars affect your top end speed?
Yeah, I think that's where we had the problems with the top speed. It seems to knock it back a little bit. Warren said the car was driving quite well through the corners, but just losing a bit on the fast parts, which is quite a bit on Phillip Island here. So yeah, I think we also had some extra tyre wear, which made things a bit more difficult for him as well.
And speaking of tyres, like last night when we were racing, we noticed that in the rough the tyres seem to go off pretty quickly in the back end. Are you having the same problem at Phillip Island tonight?
I know the other guys on the team are, but I actually haven't found that much of a problem. I found a bit more of a problem with the front tyres, actually losing a bit of grip. So yeah, I'm not sure, but definitely some of our guys are having some trouble with the back end behaving a bit unpredictably.
Yeah, I've noticed in the broadcast there's been a few cars that as the race wears on are starting to behave a bit looser in the back end. Yeah,
in this course with all these corners, these long corners, it's quite tricky to maintain the balance of the car all the way through these corners, because you sort of on the brakes for a bit, then you coast for it, then you're on the accelerator for a bit, so it's definitely hard work.
Yeah, definitely. And how did you find the concentration levels? Because it looks like you guys are running a fairly long stints in that car at the moment.
Yeah, I just got out of the car a little while ago, and yeah, it's pretty hard work. Because there's not many places to relax here. You're turning a lot of the time, except for that front straight. There's not much straight road, so yeah, it's definitely hard work and going quite quickly, and there's a lot of cars around, so it's definitely hard work.
Yeah, it definitely looks like hard work. I'm finding it hard work in the commentary booth up here myself, but thanks for coming up, and I wish you guys the best of luck in as we come to the second half of the race.
Oh, well, past the second half, come on, we've been going, feels like we've been here for hours.
Yeah, we're 76 laps out of 113, my friend. So we're just reaching the 2-hour mark, so you've probably got about another hour to go.
Yeah, I think I've got 1 more stint at the end, just close it out. Hopefully Warren drives most of the way and I don't have much to do at the end.
Yeah, so when do you think that driver change will occur? What lap are you planning to stop for that one?
We're going to push it as far as we can, I think, and then hopefully we'll only have about 10 laps to run at the end, 10, maybe 20 laps, not exactly sure. Warren was having a few computer problems just before, so we're worried that he'd have to come in straight away, but from this point on, we'll be able to make the end of the race whenever we pit. So I think you'll see everyone pit once more until we get to the finish.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a two-stop strategy, and we're just having a look now as Matthew Hill makes his stop. So that'll be his last stop for the race, by the looks of it.
Righty, well, I better leave you to it, Bernie. Have a good call.
Yeah, thanks, David. Thanks for popping up. See you, mate.
User left your channel.
So, folks, that was David Arnold from Redback Racing team. As we look at his teammate Warren Pickering. Oh, that was close. That was close. I thought he was going to get cleaned up there, but it was well avoided by the car he was passing. It was great to see that David and Warren have managed to unlap themselves. They are now running in 21st position, and they are one lap down, so that's an excellent effort. So now that we're back into the groove of things, I'll take you through our top 10. One moment. Technical difficulty. Okay, so out in front we have Nico Brandt at the moment in his DuPont rough. So coming in second in the 666. Coming in second is Trevor Forster in his BMW. Third at the moment is Ian McMahon. Looks like Ian might be having some internet connection issues, as he flashed on the left there. Now bear in mind, folks, that the top runners are pitting as we speak, so the field will cleanse itself as everyone makes their pits. Further down the track in fourth at the moment is Shane McMahon in his BMW, followed by Timothy Schleck running fifth at the moment in the McLaren. So it's great to see Timothy still out there having a great run. He's been in the top 10 pretty much all night, which is great to see. And it looks like he is now coming under pressure from Brad. Brad has pitted, and so Brad would be the real leader of the race, I guess you could say, as the other cars start coming into the pits. And as we say that, Timothy is coming into the pits now. Coming in sixth, just passing Timothy, is George Fullerton, and then now coming in seventh is Matthew Hill. And rounding out our top 10 is, oh dear, who? They're moving around so much, folks. Ian McMahon. So as you can see, folks, it's just come down off the jacks. Tyres have been changed. Fuel, taking on a full load of fuel, and I would say they will be doing a driver swap as well at this stage. It's a two-stop race for most of these guys, so if all goes to plan, they will probably put in their driver to bring it home. We'll leave Timothy there and rejoin the race, having a look at Braith Morrow, who's currently running in 6th position. So if you give me a moment, folks, I'll reset our overlay so we can see the new drivers in the car. So Dylan Sharman has taken over from Matthew Hill. So I'll take you through the driver changes. We have in first now Christopher Osborne is backing his roof, followed by Guy Leach, who's also jumped back in his BMW. So we can expect these guys to bring it home now. Nico Brandt is right behind Guy at the moment. They're battling for position. I can tell you in fourth is Dylan Sharman, who's jumped back in his car. And then Lewis Kugeley, you'll have to tell me how to pronounce that, rounds out our top 5. So we'll just stick with this battle for a bit, folks, and see if Guy can pull out a bit of a gap on Nico. So we're currently having a look at Stuart Hall at the moment, running in 6th position in his BMW, and he is fighting. The next position for him is Lewis Kugeley, 3 seconds down, and he's got a comfortable gap of Gary Hamilton, some 7 seconds further down the track from Stuart at the moment. So I'd like to give a quick shout out to also Brenton O'Brien, who's having a great run tonight in his BMW. He is running in 16th position. And for all you folks out there, Brenton normally does the commentary for the Sim Racing Asia Championship for Apex Racing TV UK, which wound up last night. But if you really want to see fantastic broadcasting and commentary, definitely tune in next year to hear Brenton do his commentary magic. So Warren Pickering is still in the number 15 Redback Racing Rough. As David alluded to earlier, they will be pitting probably around about lap 100, and they've managed to get themselves back up to 1 lap down, which is a great effort. So we're having a look at Gary Hamilton at the moment as he is lapping traffic that was not for position. His next competitor for position is Stuart Hall, some 4 seconds up the track. So he's just trying to get through lapsed traffic at the moment, which as this race goes on becomes more and more of a factor. As we have a car go off in the background, I'm not sure who that was. see if we can find him. Wow, what was that? Let's see if we can get a replay of what happened here, folks. Sorry, I'll go back a bit. Okay, we'll follow Scott Stevens at the moment. He's definitely struggling out there at the moment with a heavily damaged car, so we'll just see. Okay, so again, coming through Southern Loop, he has lost it. Dangerous spot in the track there. And he's flashing, that's very dangerous. So it looks like Scott Stevens is struggling out there at the moment. He's back in the pits and getting that car serviced at the moment. As we say that, it looks like Michael Manley and Simon Eriksson are making their pit stop and doing a driver change. That was the flash that you saw of the car. Okay, so Christopher Osborne now has a fastest lap of 1:26.155. I'm just having a look at the moment at Scott Stevens to see if he has retired or not from that incident he was involved in earlier. So out in front we still have Christopher Osborne. He's now got a 4.5 second lead over Guy Leach, who's in his SEK Queensland BMW, who has about a 2 second gap over Nico Brandt in his DuPont Rough, and then another 2 seconds down the track is Dylan Sharman in his McLaren. These guys have been, these four guys have been strong all night, always in the top 5. And rounding out our top 5 at the moment is Lewis Kugley. Might just call you Lewis. Yeah, he's rounds out our top 5, and again, Lewis has basically been in 5th position for the whole race, which is quite good. Very consistent, and his car's looking nice and straight. So as I said before, as the racing wears on, folks, these cars, they're most likely used up their quick repairs at this point in time, so these cars could or will probably look worse as the race wears on if they're involved in an incident. For anyone out there interested in giving commentary a go, definitely send me a PM. I'm more than keen to have someone join up here in the commentary box for these long races. If anything, it saves our listeners from listening to me crap on for 3 hours, and it saves my voice. So if you're interested, send me a PM on iRacing.com. And I'd be more than happy for you to join me in the commentary box. So as we're having a look at Trevor, it looks like Warren Pickering is trying to pass Trevor. It's not for position. Those guys are still a lap down, but they are desperate to try to see if they can get their car back onto the lead lap. With another 30 laps to go, anything's possible. So let's see how that shapes out. Warren's probably in the car for another 13 laps, and then he will be letting David Arnold finish that race off for them. As Christopher passes Mark Noble, Mark is currently 8 laps down. So I'll just bring up the page of results, folks, and we'll just see how the different makes of cars are tracking at the moment. So at the moment we've got a rough out front, followed by a BMW rough, then a McLaren, and then we have the swarm of BMWs down to 10th. 12th, then we've got a McLaren running 13th, roughs, more BMWs, and then it looks like Ian. So far we have Josh Burton's retired in his BMW leaders, Saltieri has retired, Shane Reynolds, Daniel Leet, Tamas Zabo, Neil de Bruyne are our retirements at the moment, and it looks like Scott Stevens is still in the pits trying to get his car repaired. He's been in there now for quite a long time, so hopefully they can get that car repaired. It was substantially damaged, so I just hope they can get it repaired and get it out there to finish this race. And what happens with cars heavily damaged, folks, is one of two things happens. They can get them back in the pits. The pit chief can call it a day. The driver can call it a day, or the crew chief could determine the car can be fixed, and they will attempt to fix that car. At this stage it wouldn't be back to brand new condition, it would be back to drivable condition, and then the driver would determine whether he can drive that car to the finish or not. So as we rejoin the race, folks, it looks like Nico is now starting to come under pressure for that third position by Dylan Sharman. We might jump back to that and have a look at that battle. So coming up to on the 89th lap, it's great to see these guys are still at it, coming up to 90th. It just goes to show how close this racing is. For any of you guys out there that are interested in giving sim racing a go, I highly recommend you have a look at iRacing.com. They have many deals to let you have a go at racing. In fact, I'll just have a quick look on the internet and I'll tell you what their latest deal is. Actually, I won't, because I'm going to mess up our broadcast. But yeah, head on over to iRacing.com. It normally starts at about, I think, $9.95 a month. They generally have a special where you join up for a month, they give you a month free. And with that you will get, I think, a number of different types of cars and a number of different tracks for you to try. They basically give you for free all the cars and tracks you will need to start out as a rookie, and as you improve and increase license levels, you'll be able to race in cars like these, or if you're an open wheeler fan, you can even go and race in Formula 1 against real people anywhere in the world. So go to iRacing.com and check it out. Okay folks, I've just come back. It looks like Dylan Sharman has taken Nico there for third position. Sorry I missed that, I was otherwise occupied. Yeah, so at the moment iRacing's offering a 50% off deal at the moment, so you can join up for 1 month for $6 or 3 months for $15. If you wish to join for a year, it's $49.50. So for those of you out there, for $6, why not sign up and give it a go? So folks, it looks like Dylan has gapped Nico quite well, and now he's in a battle up for second position, chasing down Guy Leach, who, as you can see, is just ahead of him on the track. The way Dylan's driving, I'd say it's only a matter of time until second is his, and then he will be setting his sights on Christopher Osborne. But as they say, it's one thing to catch him, it's another thing to pass him, so we'll wait and see how this battle shapes up.
User joined your channel.
And joining us in the commentary booth now is Jay Kennedy. Welcome, Jay. How's your race been going, mate?
Firstly, Bernie, good job, mate. You're doing a fantastic job flying solo. I remember the days when I used to do it myself, and not a tough gig. In regards to our race, not a great race for us. We're kicking on, but having a lot of troubles with the car through the southern loop, which, as you can probably tell, a lot of cars are as well. So hasn't been easy, but pushing through, and only one lap down, and hopefully we'll be the first car a lap down at the end.
Yeah, that's fantastic. We've definitely noticed the Southern Loop has been causing a lot of difficulty tonight with the drivers out there. How have you found the car's handling as the race wears on? Is it getting better, or your tyres dropping off?
After probably about 5 laps in a stint, the car feels really good, and then I found after about 32, 33, I was starting to find some really bizarre oversteer. So in the middle of that, the car feels absolutely brilliant, but before and after that, it feels like absolute rubbish.
Okay, well that's no good at all. And I'm not sure how long you've been tuned in for, but I was giving you blokes over at V8's Online a plug about your Premier Series earlier tonight. So will you be doing that commentary again next year?
I won't be. No, I'm hanging up the microphone as of last night, broadcasting the World Cup. So a time for me to focus on some racing again. But I'll be doing a fair bit of work behind the scenes in regards to Premier Series and things like that, which will be kicking off in February next year. It's been an absolutely fantastic season and series, and can't wait to get that going again.
Yeah, I've been watching the broadcasts, and I must say you guys are doing a fantastic job of doing that and bringing sim racing to the next level in Australia. So it's really good. Just having a look at who are you teamed up with tonight, Joe?
Yeah, I'm now in 4 Motorsports with Mitchell McLeod. So Mitch has got the car at the moment. Currently, instead of a lap down, but we're in P17 at the moment. Just trying to stay out of trouble. We're actually chasing your cars at the moment. We're chasing Warren not far behind him.
Yeah, we had David up here earlier, and they were 2 laps down. They managed to get back up a lap. So if Mitch does catch those guys, just tell him to tread easy, please.
I think Warren still has to do another pit stop, so we won't be too worried about those guys. We'll try and push up. We're hoping to get back into the top 15, so that was our aim at the start, was top 15 every week, so hopefully we can get up to there.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. So how are you finding this enduro racing and driver sharing? What do you think of it?
It just takes the experience to a whole new level. I mean, it's always good fun to get out there and race for yourself, but it just adds that extra little bit of pressure. And I don't know if I'm more nervous watching or racing, because you just want to make sure that your teammate's doing a good job and that you bring the car back for your teammate as well. So it really adds a whole new element. And I just want to say a big congratulations to all the Australian runners that ran in the Masters of Endurance. So I think there were 4 Australian teams and about 20 Australian drivers that raced in that overnight, and they all did a really good job, all finished the race.
Oh, that's fantastic. I still haven't watched the broadcast yet, but I think Madison was running, and so was John O'Barry. I think they're the 2 I know were running.
Yeah, so Mitchell teamed up with Madison Down, Jake Burton, Kurt Stenberg, Lee Ellis and Sean Kelly. They teamed up together, and Direct Clutch Motorsport as well with Brad Wooten and Chris Osborne, who are leading the race. They actually were the best finishers out of the Australian only teams, but Jonathan Selhani as well, racing with Radicals Online, did a pretty good job. It's a good move by Mitch up the inside of Warren, but Warren gets him back.
Yeah, that's I've just lost my way a bit. After how long have we been broadcasting? 2.5 hours. I'm pretty tongue-tied at this point in time.
You're brain fried, mate. I understand completely. People get amazed that you run out of things to say after a little bit, but there's only so many things you can talk about when you're by yourself. You need that extra person to have a chat. And I heard you saying before you're looking for people to commentate. Commentating is so much fun, and you just get to chat to your mates about racing and tell people about how great it is. It's nothing better. Yeah,
I've got to agree. As you know, it's taken me a while to get to this point, but I've been doing a bit of commentary with Apex Racing, and it's nothing better than just watching a race and having a chat with your mates. So there's anyone out there, come and join me.
And coming from that too, you can make lifelong friends too. So, as, Sam Ed and I, we catch up quite regularly. So that's all stemmed from him jumping in the commentary box with me to help me out, and it's now I have a TV show from it. So it's amazing how it can all play out over time.
Well, speaking of your TV show, when's the next episode of Short Shift going to be on YouTube?
All right. Unfortunately, we were due to film today at Winton, but some other commitments sort of meant that we were both unable to get over to Winton today. We're hoping to catch up with Josh Muggleton and Justin Rougier today for a chat, but unfortunately that hasn't happened. So we're not sure how long until we'll film again, but it won't be too far away before we film the next episode of Short Shift, which is a lot of fun. And in saying that, linking back into the Premier Series next year, we'll see some Short Shift stuff happen with that too, so it should be good fun.
Yeah, fantastic. So for the people watching the broadcast tonight, if they want to catch up and see some of your episodes of Short Shift, where would they go to see that?
Easiest way is on Facebook. Head to shortshift.tv. That'll take you to our Facebook page, or have a quick search on the V8s Online YouTube channel and see my ugly Marduk and Sandman's beautiful bald head.
And the occasional person jumping into the background and ruining your shots.
Well, the best one for that was Brad Ryan at Winton. We had a beautiful take and Brad's come up and jumped in between us and absolutely ruined it. So big thanks to Brad Ryan for his efforts at Winton when we filmed with Justin Rougier a few months ago now.
Yeah, I saw that. It always takes one, doesn't it, mate?
Yeah, you always know who it's going to be too. Oh, sorry, just a big crash on track at the moment. I think it's your car 36 involved, unfortunately, and Gav Sadler as well, possibly.
Okay, I'll see if I can find that.
Michael's car looks fairly bent up, unfortunately.
Oh, and it looks like Mark just collected Dylan Sharman as well for 5th position there. So it looks like the concentration levels are starting to drop with 13 laps to go.
I think that's a big thing about endurance racing. I think we'll see it even worse next week at a tougher track that a lot of guys won't know, at Daytona, and also night race as well. So it really can start to make you tired driving it in what's a virtual night as well.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. It gets a bit hard to find those brake markers coming down that back straight at night time.
The good thing with this series as well is that the different tracks and the different aspects of each track as well is going to make it really interesting. So I think we'll see a whole heap of different winners throughout this series. Yeah,
that's right. And it's a great series. I was saying earlier tonight, this is a fantastic series that Gavin puts together. And now with Enduros, it's just, I think, going to get from strength to strength for iRacing, GT racing, hopefully.
I think coming into next year as well, we're going to see the Australian Endurance Championship as well, which will link into the Premier Series as well. So when I say link in, there'll be no clashes of dates. So we'll see a pretty exciting full season of big racing with endurance racing and also Vet Premier Series.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to that. So will V8 Online be broadcasting that? Because it's going to be, I think it's going to be a really amazing series, that one.
Never say never, but at this stage, no, we won't be, because I'm pretty sure all our guys will be racing. So it'll be impossible to broadcast when there's no one to actually do it, because everyone will be wanting to be out on track. But never say never.
Okay, well, if you guys don't, let me know, because I'm just a reserve. Even though I own Redback Racing, I still don't get a drive.
That's why I've had to finish up with V8 Online. I wanted to have a race, so I'm now just a driver. It's much easier.
Yeah. So if V8 Online doesn't broadcast it, I'm just definitely keen. So see what happens.
Still a long way to go before that, so that we January I think that all kicks off.
Yeah, and the other thing I'm really excited to see is the way the Premier Series and the Australian Enduro Series goes for 10 months or something, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think there's 8 races over pretty much the full year, so that'll be an exciting series there. And Premier Series, we're looking around about 15-16 rounds. So yeah, and fingers crossed there won't be very many clashes with Formula One, which was a big complaint that we had from the test series we ran this year. Yeah, the clashes of dates with real life racing. So hopefully there'll be not too many of those, but we'll have a schedule out for that, and I'm pretty sure the guys will have a schedule out for the Enduro Championship in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, so folks, I'll just take you through our top 5 at the moment. We've still got Christopher Osborne leading over Nico Brandt, who's some 9.9 seconds down the track. Coming in third at the moment is Guy Leach. He's a further 8 seconds down the track. And just behind him and closing is Dylan Sharman, who's charging again. And right behind him as we look now is Gary Hamilton fighting for 5th, and he's having a look on the inside. He's not going to make a move there. But I was saying earlier, Jay, these guys are they've been fighting all night. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, it's been really good to watch when I'm out of the car. So yeah, really good racing. Probably the toughest thing they've had is battling through lap traffic, but I know when I was out there on track there was 5 or 6 of them all together at one point after the first lot of pit stops.
Yeah, they've been like that all night, but even when they're catching the traffic's doing the right thing and stepping aside where they can. And
yeah, most of the time.
Yeah, but they're just the level of driving tonight's been really great, seeing the respect all the drivers have for each other. And they're racing hard, but they're racing clean, which is good.
Yeah, so it's been pretty good for the most part out on track this week. I think there's a few guys out on track that probably need to learn a little bit more in regards to racecraft, and especially when your lap's down, you're not battling the lead car or cars on the lead lap, especially cars in say 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th to try and get your laps back. There's no point in doing that. You're just gonna not make any friends with yourself. But other than that, overall it's been pretty good. So I've just been trying to get into Mitchell's ear to tell him to hunt down car ahead because he's for position. So we'll see. Hopefully 15th, 16th will be very, very close battle very soon.
All right, I guess I should let you get back to giving Mitch the hurry up then, mate.
I'll keep trying to enjoy yourself out there, mate, and enjoy doing this. It is a lot of fun, and it is always great rewards doing it. But it is tough, and if anyone does want to help Bernie out, it is good fun. Yeah,
thanks for that, Jay. I'm really doing it like you guys. Just try to up the profile of sim racing in Australia.
As much as everyone seems to think all the different broadcasters all hate each other, we all get along very, very well, and we're all here for the same reason, and that's to promote sim racing overall. Yeah,
that's right. It's a really nice, close-knit community, the sim racing community, and I'm proud to be part of it. So anyway, thanks for popping in. I'll let you
no worries, mate.
Tell Mitch there's a beer at the end of the race. He might...
Oh, he's already having one now, don't worry.
All right, no worries. I'll catch you later. Mate. Bye.
User disconnected from your channel.
So folks, that was Jay Kennedy from V8s Online and Short Shift. So if you go over to YouTube or Facebook, check out Short Shift. It's a fantastic show that's promoting online sim racing, and as Jay said, you know, we're all a close-knit community. We do this for the love of it, and if any of you want to join me in the commentary box, by all means come in. So we better get back to this race with 9 laps to go. I'll take you through our top 10. Okay, so having a look at the spread of cars again, Christopher Osborne and Nico Brandt are the two roughs out front. Guy Leach is coming third in BMW, Dylan Sharman, the lone McLaren Charger. in the top 10, and then we have, would we say, a bevy of BMWs? That sounds pretty good. We have a bevy of BMWs with Gary Hamilton 5th, Lewis Kugeley 6th, Stuart Hall, Trevor Forster, Gavin Sandler's having a fantastic race tonight up there in 9th, and we must thank Gavin for putting on this fantastic series. And then followed, rounding out the top 10, with Ian McMahon. So as we're looking now, folks, Gary Hamilton is still trying to catch up to Dylan at the moment, see if he can battle him for third, but I think at the moment the McLaren seems to be the better handling car at this stage in the race, with only 9 laps to go, as they overtake another car who's taken to the grass to let them through. So at the moment, folks, we have the top 11 on the lead lap, and the last person on the lead lap back at 11th at the moment is Matthew Barron in his short shift BMW. And I must say that's a great looking livery there, and those guys are doing really well. So having a look at Jay Kennedy's teammate, Mitchell McLeod, is running 15th at the moment. His next target will be Rod Pinder, which I think we'll see if he's just in front of him or not. Yeah, that is definitely for position. This battle between Mitchell and Rod at the moment. There was a fantastic move there as the drivers went up through Lukey Heights. Mitchell McLeod taking 14th position now, and continues on his way. Just having a look, folks. It appears we may have lost our leader, Christopher Osborne. Sometimes it can be due to netcode, or he may have had an incident. I'll just go back and see if we can see what happened.
User joined your channel.
Okay, so Christopher Osborne is back. That gave us a scare for a bit, so I'd say he's got net issues. So joining us up in the commentary box now is Mr. Warren Pickering. How are you going out there, mate?
Yeah, good thanks, Ben. G'day. I don't know, it's been an up and down night. You've probably seen some of the dramas.
Yeah, I saw earlier you were carrying quite a bit of damage, and your teammate said you had a bit of a concertina, I think in the first lap or something like that.
Yeah, that's it. Down into the hairpin first lap. front and rear contact was pretty substantial, so struggled with the rear end from then on, and yeah, just went from bad to worse really.
Yeah, well, you know, once around here, once your car gets damaged, you lose your top end speed as well as your handling. So you did a great job in getting that lap back. I think you guys were 2 laps down at one point. I think you got that lap back. Was that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yep, managed to unlap 1 lap at least, which was some consolation really. Yeah, so that was nice.
Yeah, and I noticed a lot of the action tonight's in that southern loop. It appears like a lot of drivers are having trouble with their rear end coming out of that corner. Did you experience a similar problem?
Yeah, it's not too bad. We had too much push, so that wasn't a real problem for us. But we had dramas in other corners, like the last corner and things like that. So it's one of those tracks that you have to set up for get a really nice balance. And unfortunately, you know, I guess it's the nature of these long endurance races, and that's part of the beauty, I guess, is if you've got a good setup, it's awesome. But if you've got a bad one, it just you've got 3 hours ahead of you with too much push, you know, and it makes it twice as bad.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I was saying earlier in the broadcast, I'm amazed where with only 5 laps to go, the top 5 guys are separated only by 20 seconds, if that. They've been battling all night, and they're still battling for 4th and 5th at the moment.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's one of those races. It's all about consistency. And the guys that are up the front, have a look at their lap times, and they're just pumping them out lap after lap. Yeah, they're not their best laps are good, but they're not, you know, they're not alien-like. It's just about being consistent. It's about getting 2 guys that are right up there, you know.
Yeah, that's right. I was saying earlier, Dylan Charman's he's partnered up with Matthew Hill, that's a phenomenal pairing, those two. And you can see, you know, they've been they're the sole McLaren in the top 10. I'm not sure if they've been punching above their weight or not, but boy, have they been putting on a great race tonight.
Yeah, they should have. They sure have. I mean, those guys are always going to put on a masterclass. That McLaren, it's hard to handle, and it even looks sketchy on track. But I'll tell you what, if you can get a good set and be consistent, it's bloody quick.
Yeah, that's for sure. And we're having a look now. We've got 4 laps remaining, and we've still got Christopher Osborne out front. He's got a 10-second gap over Nico at the moment. In his DuPont Rough, that's a nice paint job. And then we've got Gary Hamilton in his BMW, getting a bit tongue-tied now, it's been so long. And then further 1 second down the track, we've got Guy Leach in his SEK Queensland BMW, and then, as we were mentioning before, Dylan Sharman some 8 seconds down the track, but he's now under pressure by Lewis SEKQLD, I guess you could say, battling out now for 5th position, so we'll keep a close eye on that. And Lewis is, Lewis
he's just gone round.
Yeah. That was bad luck.
Yeah, Lewis has been putting in some really quick laps, made a small mistake there. One of those things, you're trying to put a bit of pressure on, and you're thinking about 2 corners ahead, and you just tweak the brake there and round you go. Yeah,
that's right. But Lewis has been running in the top 5 pretty much all night, and then looks like just behind shot there is your car. With I think David's in it now, isn't he?
Sure is. Well, it's not me at the moment, that's for sure. Yeah, he's doing really well. we because of the dramas, we had an extra pit stop, so the last one was a bit of a splash and dash. So he's taken tyres as well to So he's punching out some really good lap times at the moment to try and get on, another couple more spots if we can, right at the death.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. I'm amazed after all these laps how many straight cars there are out there. They're dirty, but they're straight. So I was expecting a lot more bent cars by this stage in the race.
Yeah, well, it's one of those tracks that you're more likely to fall off it rather than run into someone else. There's been a bit of contact tonight, but really, I think it's a credit to the field that there hasn't been more. Been a little bit of niggle, but mainly just due to random errors and people accidentally putting a wheel off and looping it and stuff like that. So it's one of those tracks.
Yeah, and I'd just like to let the viewers know it does look like Scott Stevens has retired his BMW Z4 after that incident some 26 laps ago. So he's our latest retirement.
That's a shame. He was quick.
He was quick, but I tell you what, when his car came into the pits, it was absolutely trashed. He was lucky to even be able to drive it back to the pits, I think. It looked like he lost it coming into out of Southern Loop, and he got cleaned up by some passing traffic.
That's a shame.
Okay, folks, with 2 laps to go, we'll focus in on our leader now. We've got, as I said before, Christopher Osborne leading the way, followed by Nico some 9 seconds down the track. So this one looks like it may be Christopher's to lose at this stage. And I don't know what it is about you redback guys, Warren, but every time we focus in on the leader, there's one of those cars in the background. Looks like it's Mr. Manley at the moment.
We're always around, yeah.
So, do you know where we're heading next round for the SEK Enduro? I think it's Daytona night, isn't it?
Actually, you've put me on the spot there. I haven't got a clue. I'm sorry, Danny.
Yeah, I think it might be the Daytona night race, next race. So that's going to be an interesting night race enduro.
Yeah, brilliant. That'll be really interesting.
Yeah, well, that'll take the concentration level to the next level, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's right. This one was hard enough. I found coming over Lukey Heights with the sun in your eyes here and the dirty windscreen, it was actually really challenging to see the track. It was surprising.
Yeah, we jumped in a couple of cars earlier, and the view out of some of those cars looked atrocious. But as we're on to the last lap now, folks, we've got Christopher Osborne coming up to... Where is he coming up to now? Just approaching Lukey Heights for the last time to take the checkered flag.
Yeah, Chris and Brad have done an excellent job. Especially in the rough, I thought the BMW might be favourite here with the bit better mid-corner speed, but they've done an excellent job. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, they've been consistently out the front, pretty much either first or second for the whole race. So, as Christopher Osborne now comes on to Gardner Straight to take the checkered flag, it's a fantastic run by that team and a well-deserved win. And also now just coming on to Gardner Straight in the DuPont rough is Nico Brandt. Again, they've been in the top 10 all night. And Gary Hamilton takes out third, followed closely behind by Guy Leach, and then Dylan Sharman takes out our top 5. So I reckon Lewis might have had Dylan if he hadn't have spun. Which was unfortunate, but it was still very good. Trevor Forster's just come across the line to take out 8th, and now Gavin Sadler's just coming over Lukey Heights in his DeWalt BMW to take out 9th. So all in all, that was a fantastic race. I was quite impressed with the level of driving out there tonight, Warren.
Yeah, same. I saw a lot of good behaviour, you know, from the whole field. It was one of those races that really varying strategies, and obviously, you know, dramas for people early and things like that. I really found there were guys a lap down who were really quick but still patient. And there were guys that were on the lead lap that were, you know, a bit slow and also patient. So yeah, real credit to the group here tonight.
Yeah, it's been great. So what I'm going to do now, folks, I'll take you through the final placings for the whole field, and then after that I'll be ending the broadcast because I need a well-deserved drink.
I'll leave you to it. Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, thanks, Warren. See you, mate.
User left your channel.
Okay, folks, so going through the final positions, we had Christopher Osborne in the rough, followed by Nico Brandt. Also in the rough, Gary Hamilton in his BMW came in third, followed by Guy Leach in the SEK Queensland BMW. Dylan Sharman, the McLaren Flyer there, coming in fifth with the well-deserved fifth. He's been in there all night, and that team was really going strong tonight. And then we start the bevy of BMWs with Lewis Cugley coming in sixth, Stuart Hall, seventh, Trevor Forster eighth, Gavin Sadler, ninth, Matthew Barron 10th, Ian McMahon came in 11th, followed by Colin Schweck in 13th, one lap down, Mitchell McLeod 14th, Darryl Gale 15th, Rod Pinder 16th, and we've got a bit of a problem with our overlay, but 20th came Joshua Beecroft, Sean O'Hara 21st, Scott Lefebvre 24th, 25th Jake Maloney, both in roughs, Michael Ford in the BMW, David Mutton in the BMW. Brenton O'Brien came in 32nd, and 33rd was Jamie Peters. So having a look at our retirements, we had Joshua Burden, Tamas Sabo, Neil De Bruin, Shane Reynolds, Scott Stevens, Daniel Leet and Ian Saltieri did not finish tonight's race. So folks, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. I hope you enjoyed tonight's coverage, and if you liked the video, give us a like on YouTube, or go and subscribe to us or follow us on Facebook under RRTV, and we hope to see you back again next week when we go to Daytona for a night endurance race. So I'm Bernie Weemers for RRTV. Thanks for tuning in, and good night.